one legal minute. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the support in the comments, my friends who give me criticism, constructive criticism. I appreciate you. Please remember to ask questions, comment, share, like, subscribe. I have a YouTube channel as well. I'm going to continue to post live conversations on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock. And I just really enjoy this forum for conversation, sharing of information, comments, and questions. I am not offering legal advice. These are conversations that I'm having, sometimes different attorneys on the show, in the conversation who have information about legal issues. But you have to speak with an attorney about your particular circumstances in your state, and you have to pay someone to represent you. So this is not free legal advice. It's simply a conversation to hopefully guide you in the right direction or give you information to be more informed about situations. So I just wanted to make that clear. I'm going to talk about 3 topics today. One, the government lifting, or Governor Kemp lifting the shelter order, the SBA loan distributions, and partial unemployment claims. As far as Governor Kemp lifting the order, well, let's just go back. According to an influential model, the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, Georgia hit its projected peak 13 days ago on April 7th. The same model predicts that dozens of people will die each day in the coming week. Same model now. This same model says that Georgia shouldn't start relaxing until after June 15th. Now, wait one legal minute. Just sounds like this one model is saying, hey, we already hit our peak, but a lot of people are still going to die in the days to come, in the next coming weeks. And we shouldn't relax until June 15th. Why are we not relying on the scientific data to guide us in how to proceed? The mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, you have just been very realistic in relying on the information that you are being provided and in attempting to advise the public. We appreciate you. Governor Kemp, I don't know. We are just trying to make it through this pandemic, which we are still in, and according to information we're being provided, it's not safe. So despite this scientific data, which is being provided, Governor Kemp is allowing certain businesses to reopen on Friday. Okay, what are your thoughts about certain businesses opening on Friday? Mine is, now wait one legal minute. Here again, let's take a look at the businesses that are opening on Friday. Gyms, fitness centers, barbers, hairdressers, nail salons, massage therapists. Okay, so several service industries and the gym. I guess I want to question the target and how these businesses were selected and why. Who frequents these businesses? And I think you should think about that when you're deciding whether or not you're going to leave the house on Friday. I'm not trying to invoke fear. I want people to proceed cautiously and to rely on the information and the data we're being provided and make a decision for yourself and your family and your loved ones. And think about other people as well, because again, it's not that you may become infected or ill or die, but that you may infect someone else and not know it. So don't let your coloring cut, your cornrows, your silk press, your weave lead to your death. Let's be smart, people. And as far as your nails, I've been doing my own nails. Can't see it. Oh, there you go. I've been using OPI gel manicure. You don't need the machine. You just paint your nails. First step is the color. Second step is the top coat and gives you this great glossy shine. Do it yourself. Figure it out. Take care of yourself. Stay the fuck at home. Sorry, I had to do that. It's really important to me because I just want us all to be safe. I want my family, my friends. I want you to be safe. So stay home. Y'all have any comments about my personal opinion about staying home and any comments that I just made, please feel free to chime in. I'd love to hear your comments. And you can also email me at waitonelegalminute@gmail.com, and you can send an inbox message on Facebook. So the next topic that I wanted to talk about is the wonderful Small Business Association, or SBA, loan distributions and the Payment Protection Program loans. Who got one? Not me. Now wait one legal minute. Y'all know, my friends, my colleagues know, I was on top of this. Day one, March 27th, I am submitting my SBA loan application. I'm sharing information with my other colleagues saying, here, make sure you submit your information. I have not received any funding, and I have been extremely diligent. We even had a show. We had Lori Dyke, forensic accountant. She's a CPA with IAG Forensics, had a financial advisor, had a full show on completing the information and the documents that you needed to have prior to applying so that you were ready when the applications were finally open. I do not know one person in my circle who've received funding. I was hopeful in that these monies were truly designated to help small businesses. In my opinion, again, personal as it may be, it was an epic fail. According to Forbes, in an article that was printed yesterday, 71 publicly traded companies received PPP loans to the tune of $300 million of emergency loans. Some look like enterprises, the article said. 20 publicly traded companies received the funds with market capitalization greater than $100 million, even after the market drop and volatility. Okay, we all know that Shake Shack received millions. And they qualified because they don't have more than 500 employees at any one location. So there was a stipulation that you couldn't be eligible for the funding if you employed more than 500 employees. So Shake Shack qualified because they had less than 500 employees at each of their locations. Now wait one legal minute. If that is not a loophole, I don't know what one is. They have over 7,603 employees, or had over 7,603 employees at the end of 2019. They furloughed roughly 1,000 employees in recent weeks. Again, everyone, you can draw your own opinion. I would love for you to comment. Here is the Forbes article that I am referencing. I'm going to put it here on my in my comments. Take a look at the article for yourself. These numbers and this information is straight from the Forbes article that was published yesterday, April 20th. The article also said that some companies were based outside the US that received the funding. Biotechnology company Wave Life Science, their market valuation was $286 million. They obtained $7.2 million. CRH Medical, a provider of medical service, market valuation $148 million, and they received $2.9 million. So if you are looking at receiving small business loans and you received it, let me know, because none of the people in my circle that I know have received the funding, but according to Forbes, a lot of publicly traded companies who make millions actually receive the support of the government. You don't say. So my next topic is, again, if you have any questions or comments, please share your comment with me. I would love to know of some small business, less than 10 employees, who actually received funding. I thought that my information was incorrect because I got a text on a text thread where one of my colleagues said that she was actually approved. So I thought she actually received the funding, but she didn't. So I want to hear from someone who was approved and actually received it in their bank account. So the next topic that I wanted to just touch on, and I'm going to make this short, the only option, well, let me know if you know of other options, but what I would encourage small businesses to do is to file partial unemployment claims. Partial unemployment claims in Georgia can be filed by employers for full-time employees who work less than full-time during a pay period due to lack of work. So I am going to include the website I went to and the documents that you need to complete in order to, and you should see that in the comments. Let's see, let's send that. So there's the website for filing unemployment claims. You should see that in my comments now. See if I can also get that. So just click on that website, or of course copy and paste it if the link does not work from the comments, but that's where you can go to get the information for the unemployment claims. So the employer must file the claim. Your employee cannot file for partial unemployment. You, the employer, must file for your employees. You can file online through the employer portal. So you have to have your portal information, your username and your password, and your PIN. So make sure you have that information, and there are some links if you don't have it. I had a former payroll service who was my administrator, so I also had to fill out a change of administrator form. That form you have to call and wait. I waited for an hour and 40 minutes to get the form to change the administrator, because you can't do that through the portal. They have to email that form to you. You must have the employee's information. It's all on the form. It's pretty straightforward. Their name, their date of birth, their social security number, the county that they live in. That information is accessible on your forms. Employment forms should be on your employment forms, or on your W-3 or W-4 forms, or your W-2 forms for the employee. If no direct deposit information exists, or there has been no activity for 90 days, the first payment will be deposited to a Georgia UI Way to Go debit MasterCard. And then the information can be updated so that it can go to, the money can be received by direct deposit. I wanted to point out that the form for the partial unemployment claims is pretty straightforward. There is and I'm going to include these links in my comments. The form, there's a partial claim template to reference on how to complete the columns, and you cannot adjust the columns. It's an Excel worksheet, so you can't change the name of the columns, but you can widen them to fit the information that you need to complete. It is straightforward. You do have to follow the template, because there are questions, and the answers have to be sometimes numerical answers. So for instance, it asks the race of your employee. Well, you just don't put, black or white or Hispanic. There's a numeric correlation that must be entered. You have to get that from the reference sheet or the partial claim template. So for white, it's 1. For black, it's 2. For Asian, it's 3. For Native American, it's 4. Pacific Islander, 5. And multiracial, 6. I'm just conveying the information here. And then there's a separate column for if your race is Hispanic to answer yes or no. Conveying information here. Another piece of information about the form, it asks if your employee earned greater than $7,300. And then the question in the column says, did the employee earn at least $7,300 in your employee? Well, I had to go to the frequently asked questions to understand exactly how to answer that question, because it was very confusing to me, maybe not to you, but it was confusing for me. And again, all of this information was enough for me to say, you know what, let me just share this information. I emailed it to another colleague who I'd been discussing this with over the weekend, and I figured this was a great topic for today. If you have any questions, please email me. But here I'm going to include these other links. But there is a frequently asked question document that I've also uploaded and that I referenced, and it was very helpful. But for that question, they want the frequently asked questions covered the topic of the $7,300. It read, answer this question by entering Y for yes if the employee has earned gross wages equal to or greater than $7,300 during the latest period of employment. And in parentheses, it read, last hire date through the last date worked. So that was helpful in guiding me on completing that portion of the 7,300, greater than or less than. There were separate columns. I think that the frequently asked questions should be helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask me or to just share your experience with me about receiving the funds, or email me at wait1legalminute@gmail.com if you don't want to put it on here. But I'm really curious to know, colleagues, if any small solo practitioners or other small businesses that employ less than 10 people, have you received any funding? Have you received any support? Have you applied for partial unemployment claims? Have you been successful with those unemployment claims? And I guess lastly, I would like to know if you are leaving your firm open, or if you're leaving your firm closed, and if you're reopening on Friday or Monday. Lawyers are essential business. We're continuing to work. Most of us are working virtually, but I'm curious to know how many small business owners and lawyers are opening their firms, opening their doors back to the public on Friday or Monday. Let me know your opinion or your comments about any of the subjects that I've talked about today. I appreciate you all, and please send me some comments and like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be here Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock on Facebook Live, Wait One Legal Minute, and make sure you share with your friends. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. And yes, I did receive that comment about it's very long. You like the show, so I've shortened it, and I hope this was helpful information. See you on Thursday.